What's up YouTube, Dan here, and welcome to my predictions for the FIFA 13 Team of the Season for the Barclays Premier League. And if you want me to continue this season, do maybe the Serie A, the Liga BBVA, the Liga 1 and the Bundesliga, tell me in the comment section and I'll get started with that. So this took me quite a long time, and what I did was I used FootWiz and then cropped out the stats because I don't really want to go into too much detail. But this is just my opinion. If you have your opinion, just leave it in the comment section and don't hate on me for having my own opinion. This is just my opinion on who I think will be the best players this season and who I thought have been the best players this season. And I have used some websites to just check on the stats. For example, my goalkeeper Begovic. I know a lot of you will be thinking, why have you got Begovic? He plays for Stoke and he hasn't really stood out. But if you look at the clean sheets, obviously Manchester United, Chelsea are going to be up there. But Stoke are actually in 5th or 6th, which is really good. I had the look on Sky Sports, and Begovic is having a fantastic season. And he's been heavily linked with Man United, clubs like that. So he's clearly doing really well for Stoke. So moving on to the first goalkeeper, or the first player, is going to be Begovic, as I said. So he plays for Stoke at the moment, starts off as a 76, and he actually got upgraded to a 78 in the January upgrades, but now he's an 84. So I think it's right to upgrade him to 84, as the team this season is normally +6. So, for example, Begovic 78 has gone up to an 84. So that's my goalkeeper of choice. You might like De Gea, who's had a good season for Man United, but Man United have conceded a lot of goals, but they've also got Van Persie, who will feature in this team, obviously, with the season he's had. But yeah, so Man United as well, but they have conceded a lot of goals. Chelsea, Petr Cech's had a decent season, not his best, but still had a good season. Joe Hart's made a couple of mistakes, so I just thought it'd be a bit different and go for Begovic. So moving on to our first defender, it's going to be Williams from Swansea, also Welsh as well. And he starts off as a 76, goes up to an 82. And I was looking at the best defenders in the league, I was looking at some stats as well. And Williams seems to be up there. Swansea have been really good at the back. Also had Chico Flores as well, who's another good defender. But in the end I went for Williams, but I don't want to go into too much detail with him. So moving on into our next defender, it's going to be Vertonghen from Tottenham and Belgium. He's had an absolutely fantastic season, and in my opinion, the best defender at the moment in the league, and I've raised him up from an 83 or an 81, I think it was, to an 87. So +6, he's had a fantastic season. And he's also chipped in with a couple of goals as well, which you always want your defender to do. Maybe 5 to 6 goals is good, but he's got around the 5 to 6 goals mark already. So our left back, or third centre back, I am playing a 3-5-2. It's got to be Leighton Baines. You can't really argue with that. And I know your comments and your team in the comment section will include Leighton Baines. He's had a fantastic season, and he scored a couple of goals. That fantastic free kick against Newcastle. Fantastic defender, hasn't let much past him, and I think he's the best defender in the league, or best left back in the league. Sorry, I think Vertonghen is the best centre back in the league. But moving on, Baines has had a fantastic season, and he's had a good season for Everton. One of the reasons why Everton have had a fantastic season. So my left back is going to be Leighton Baines, who's gone up from an 80 to an 86. So moving on into our centre defence and midfield positions, and the first one has got to be Frank Lampard from Chelsea. So I've upgraded him from an 83 to an 89, so that's +6, and he's had a fantastic season for Chelsea. One of the reasons why Chelsea are still doing quite well, they're still in the Champions League at this current time. I'm currently recording this in April, so there still could be time for Chelsea to drop out, but he's one of the reasons why Chelsea are doing quite well this season, and there's a couple of other players in the team which are from Chelsea. So he's chipped in with a couple of goals for quite a defensive player, and he's still quite defensive, but he's still scored around the 10 to 15 goal mark, and he'll probably get to the 20 goal mark. And he's just reached 200 goals in his career for Chelsea, which is fantastic for a midfielder, and he really deserves that place in the centre defensive midfield position. So moving on into our second centre defensive midfielder. So we've got our second Everton player here, it's going to be Fellaini. So he's gone up from an 81 to an 87, and he's Belgium, and he's from Everton. So the second Belgian player in this team, there's still one more to come, as you can see on screen, and that is Hazard. But anyway, Fellaini started the season really well, then had a dip in form, and you remember his headbutt against Stoke, but all that is forgotten now. He's having a fantastic season, and second parts of the season, after the end of 2012, he's really come back, scored a couple of important goals. But can you remember his form at the start of the season, scoring 1 to 2 goals every game? So one of the best players at the start of the season, and hopefully he's going to have a really good end to the season. So moving on into our centre attacking midfielder. Our centre attacking midfielder has got to be Juan Mata. So he's probably been the best player in the Chelsea team this season, and he's been consistent, and he's scored a lot of goals for Chelsea. They're top scorer, and if they do get a good striker next season, think how good Chelsea will be next season, because Torres and Dembaba, you're not seeing them in the team of the year or the team of the season, but Torres and Dembaba aren't the best of strikers at the moment. I think Torres will maybe improve, maybe not, but I really hope he does. I know I'm not a big fan of Chelsea, don't actually like Chelsea, but it'd be just good to see Torres scoring goals again, because he is one of the best strikers in the league. But anyway, moving on to Mata. I've upgraded him from an 86 to 92. Fantastic play on FIFA 13, and if he gets the team of the season, which I think he will because he's had a fantastic season, think how good he will be, and he'll be a 92 rated player, which is fantastic, as good as Ronaldo in the centre attacking midfield position. So moving on now to the right wing and the left wingers. So our right winger has to be Hazard. There's not really any good right wingers at the moment. I know Walcott has kind of turned into a striker, but I would have put Walcott if he still was a right winger because he has had a good season in my opinion. But Hazard has probably been the best right winger, and he has played in the right winger. I know his normal card is a left midfielder, but he's played on the right a couple of times because Oscar plays on the left, or Mata plays on the left normally, and Mata sometimes plays in the centre. It's all swapped around a lot, so I decided to put Hazard on the right wing, and he's had a fantastic season and a really good performance against Man United. And he has a good start to the second part of the season, scoring a lot of goals at the moment. Did take a lot of time to settle into the team, but I've upgraded him from an 87 to a 93, and I think on the next FIFA 14 he will be around the 90. So if he has a good end to the season, I think he will be around the 90. So moving on into our left midfielder. So without a shadow of a doubt, the left midfielder has to be Gareth Bale. So he was getting a bit of stick at the start of the season for diving, still surrounds him, but I've upgraded him from an 85 to a 91, and I think he'll be easily a 91 rated player on the actual FIFA 14 game. And in my opinion, I think he's been the third best player in the world at the moment currently, because obviously you've got Ronaldo, Messi, who's scoring loads at the moment, but Bale is not far behind him, and in the future I think he will go on, maybe to play for Real Madrid, maybe Barcelona, maybe even Bayern Munich. But as I said, he's gone up to 91, and I think in the next game he will be at least in 90. So he's had a fantastic season, and Bale, or Tottenham, have been labelled Team Bale at the moment because he seems to be the only good player, because as you saw against Inter Milan they got smashed, but still got through to the next round. But tell me, what team do you think Bale will go to in the future? That's my question of today's video. But yeah, Bale wins left midfielder, so let's now move on into the strikers. So the two strikers have to be Van Persie, who's a 94 rated player, and he did have a bit of a blip in between February and March, but he's scoring a couple of goals at the moment and did have a fantastic start to the season. And you could go for Michu, but I think just to make it a bit more special, I went for Van Persie, 94 rated player, the best player in this team. But in my opinion, I think it should be Bale or Suarez. But yes, moving on to Suarez, 92 rated player, scored around 25 goals this season, nothing much to say. Fantastic player, and he's probably the best striker in, maybe second best striker in the world at the moment, just behind Messi. You could class Ronaldo as a striker, but he is more of a wingman or a winger. But yeah, Suarez wins the striker award, or the striker in this FIFA 13 team of the season. But yeah, tell me in the comment section, as I've said a couple of times, who do you think should win the parts in this team, or the places in this team? And that's about it for this first episode. There will be the Serie A, Liga BBVA, that kind of thing in the next couple of weeks maybe. So I'll get started on that. This took me quite a long time to make, about around 30 minutes to make. I had to think of all the players, get all the stats. But please can we reach maybe 20 likes for this. And feel free to leave your thoughts on this team and your opinions and what players you think should be in the positions. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part of this mini-series.